This graph floored me. As in, lying on the floor, wondering if I should go on being a teacher or just get out of the way to make room for somebody else. This is the graph of my first online lecture. And it might look okay. After all, I held their attention for 2 minutes, right? More like 2 seconds. You see, the first part of the video is what I call a hype piece. I'm trying to provide inspiration, not information. Hook them and get them interested. Hope they stick around for the rest. In this case, it's a mashup of great quotes from the week's materials, with some stock music and stock visuals for effect.
How you define consciousness matters here, but yes. Plants are conscious.
I'm actually really proud of these 93 seconds. They are strangely mesmerizing.
Right. But they're picking up on chemicals in the air and in the soil and light in very specific ways.
And students seem to agree. 86% of them stick around. And then,
from an evolutionary perspective, we have to realize that humans actually have
dead-eyed Professor Mike, droning on with apparently no emotion or excitement whatsoever. We've all had the experience of students checking out, but this is different. This is as if half the room just stood up and walked out on me. And then, I had a revelation. When retention dropped to 50%, it dropped to a total viewership of 47. I have 49 people in the class. It wasn't that half the class was checking out. It was that over half the class was voluntarily re-watching the first part. I immediately realized 3 things that would dramatically change my approach to making videos over the course of that semester. 1,
I'm super excited.
My excitement for the material was not at all apparent or convincing. 2, being on camera for every lecture was too time-consuming. It took days of scripting and reshooting to produce this crappy lecture. And 3, the success of those first 93 seconds signaled that there were other options. I didn't have to be on camera to make great videos. I set off for the world's largest educational institution, my go-to place when I need inspiration or to learn something new. For those unfamiliar, YouTube is governed by an algorithmic god that cares nothing about your credentials. The god carefully tracks the views, likes, subscribes, and total viewing time of each video and every student in order to match each student with the perfect video for them. There are some problems with this, but the game this robot god governs is one that incentivizes educators to produce content that people want to watch, enjoy watching, want to watch more of, and want to discuss. That's the algorithm. And I don't know about you, but I want to make videos that my students want to watch, enjoy watching, want to watch more of, and want to discuss. So you might expect this system to favor short and shallow videos, but instead we find long talking head lectures,
backed up by all the data we've been able to collect,
marathon tutorials.
You may have noticed that this video is 4 hours long, so thank you for clicking on it.
And hours of debate with vigorous audience participation.
How about that?
Dad, stop. Ugh, get out of my life.
We find faculty that use words like
homo, nomo,
and
metaphorical truth,
and quote people like
Jacques Derrida
and
Vladimir Nabokov.
They can also teach you to
add a neural network-based AI.
They teach at all levels and all subjects. Some have PhDs and some don't.
I am a himbo.
And while some of them show their face, many of them do not. And those are the ones who can show us a lot about the possibilities when you just don't want to be on camera. 1. Point of view. My favorite drawing professor gawks art, puts on his sexy Crocs to draw sexy lines, and my cooking professor likes to show off his unique techniques. Point of view allows you to show and demonstrate just about anything, from how to operate a camera to doing basic math problems, and you don't need any special equipment. I like to use point of view to give my students immersive experiences in other cultures. I can show them what it's like to wash clothes or cook a meal in New Guinea. Or I can take them into Thai temples. Number 2, stock video and stock audio. Many of my favorite edutubers, such as Windover Productions and What I've Learned, just record a compelling audio narrative and then layer stock video and audio around it. For many of us, this is the fastest way to make a video. No worrying about the camera means fewer retakes, and you can quickly find free footage to suit your needs from sites like Videvo, Pexels, and Pixabay. And the YouTube audio library has free music sorted by mood and genre. Number 3, graphic design. Many top edutubers such as Polymatter and CGP Grey use simple graphics with their own unique style. While many pros use pro programs like Adobe Illustrator, Evan of Polymatter recommends PowerPoint as a familiar and surprisingly powerful alternative. Use the Merge Shapes tool to combine simple shapes to create just about anything. and you can edit points just like you would in a more powerful graphics program. You can also download free icons at sites like FlatIcon and Graphic Burger, or get science icons at BioRender. And you can find beautiful color palettes to use in your presentations at Coolors. Just copy the palette into PowerPoint, place it off the canvas, and use the eyedropper to color your shapes. This way you can create an attractive and consistent look throughout your presentation. Number 4, animation. Putting these designs in motion does not require any fancy software or tech skills. Sure, you can try to learn professional animation software, but keep in mind that it takes the legendary Kurzgesagt 8 to 12 weeks to animate a 10-minute video using 2 to 3 professional animators. I have used professional software like Moho, and even a simple animation like The Sleeper took me 2 weeks to create. Once again, PowerPoint offers a surprisingly easy and powerful alternative. One of the simplest ways to animate in PowerPoint is to use the Morph transition. Just place all of your elements where you want them, duplicate the slide, and move the elements. Add the Morph transition and run the slideshow. Automatic animation. You can also use the built-in animations for individual objects and custom paths for more complicated movements. Number 5, screen recording. I learned virtually everything you've seen me do so far in this video from the many edutubers who use a screen recorder to demonstrate how to edit video, make graphics, animate, and power up your PowerPoint game. Putting all of these elements together requires a video editor, and this has become a crowded marketplace, but my recommendation is DaVinci Resolve. It's a free, full-featured editor that's easy enough for beginners and powerful enough for the pros, and it works on Mac and PC. Keep in mind that while these tools and techniques can be intimidating at first, each time you try, you will learn a little bit more, and you can carry new knowledge, skills, and assets into your next project. And you don't need great visuals to make a great video. The true superpower of the successful edutuber is storytelling, and more often than not, it's the audio, not the visuals, that carry the story. And we've already done much of that work. After all, the workflow of creating an edutube hit is not so different from preparing a lecture. Research, outline, script, create. The difference is that the edutuber is looking for something, a hook, an angle, a great idea, what Jessica Abel calls the why in her XY formula of storytelling. Your lecture is about X. The why is why it will be interesting to the audience. Here are 3 ways to get the why into your videos. 1. The surprising fact. This why is how CGP Grey gets over 2 million people to watch a slideshow about tumbleweeds. X is tumbleweeds. Y, the trouble. The trouble? What trouble? A promise of action and a mysterious plot signaled by a simple title. Click on the story and you get an intriguing sequence to set the scene. You meet the main characters, rising action, all of the elements of a great story. The running theme of a story like this is basically, you would think, but really, you would think tumbleweeds are harmless. But really, they starve out crops, bury towns, and sow fire and destruction. Number 2, elevating the great example. Polymatter wanted to make a video about how companies are creating vast ecosystems to control users and harvest their data. But instead of just saying that and dropping a wall of text about it, he took his most intriguing example and promoted it to the title line, Why Bing Isn't a Failure. And neither was his video, with over 4 million views. Oftentimes, we already have a why, maybe even many whys, great examples or interesting case studies. We've just failed to allow that why to permeate our work. We are quick to say today's lecture is about X, but we forget to say that this is why it is so important, intriguing, interesting. And number 3, it's Joseph Campbell's classic Hero's Journey, though I prefer the Gloria Gaynor model because it gives you a perfect song to remember the key elements. Now, I would love to play that song for you, but the YouTube god is watching with his Content ID bot. So you'll just have to deal with me and my iPad. You probably know the story. Sorry for the break in script here. This is my first time on GarageBand, and I just discovered all this amazing stuff that it can do. So, yeah, I'm just gonna play with this for just a second here. Even when you can't find a story, you can always tell the story of how you came to know this. You can invite them into that same journey that you took to learn this material. And it shows that you're human as well, that you haven't always known this stuff. Here's how my favorite programming professor, Jabril, tells his story.
When I was a kid, I've always had an interest with AI. I remember seeing the famous Carl Sims demo that at the time, I barely started learning algebra in school. I got serious and set out on a mission to learn how to write my own neural networks. And I can proudly say, 6 months later, I successfully trained my first neural network completely from scratch.
It's so awesome. Don't you want to go on a journey with this guy? I hope you're interested in joining me on my journey to learn as much as I can about creating awesome educational videos. I'm going to post tutorials to everything that I used in this video down below. Let me know if there's anything you'd like me to cover in a future video. If you're just getting started, this can all seem very overwhelming. So just take it one step at a time, start small, start easy. You can always pursue just being a little bit more creative every day and adding to your skill set. Big thanks to AQ for sponsoring this video. AQ provides outstanding micro-credential courses in effective teaching practices, and this video is just one small part of their new course on effective online teaching practices, which will launch this June.